Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This video we are looking at the DraftKings and Fanduel Week 5 already. Thursday night football game between the Chicago Bears and the Washington Commanders. This game is looking like not a great one if you don't have any other interest in it. You got the Bears 0-4 start. Commanders been a nice little surprise. We'll see if they're able to at least, probably will finish better than the Giants at this point. But looking at the slate for DFS, you got some good plays. We'll touch on them, so let's get started. As always, if you enjoy the videos, appreciate if the like button, subscribe if you have not already. You can check out other links in the description. Looking for a big bounce back week this week. Starts with this Thursday night game. Starting off here, we're just looking at the pricing. Justin Fields, just looking at the flex pricing. He's 11,000. I think he's in a really good spot. We've seen opposing quarterbacks have really good days against this Washington defense. However, Fields has been kind of a mystery this year. Finally had a good game last time out against the Broncos. Every quarterback has done well against the Broncos, so not much of a surprise. If he struggled in that matchup, then would have been really concerning heading into this game, but fairly confident that we're going to see a good game from Justin Fields, whether it's through the air or through the ground. We saw the Eagles have their best passing week of the season. Hurts threw for 319. 2 weeks ago, the Bills and Josh Allen, they blew them out with 37 points. And then even the Broncos put up 33 points against them. So I think Fields is a really good play. He hasn't really done much with the legs. I think that's going to change. And especially in this type of game, it does have a chance to change if they decide to run him a little bit more. Terry McLaurin is 10-2. He looks fine. I mean, he's pricey. I'd rather get to the quarterback, honestly, because he's had some decent games, but Sam Howell has typically outperformed him in a lot of the games, except for the last time where they were forced to throw a lot, trying to come with, especially in the last part of the fourth quarter. It was a high-scoring back-and-forth affair, and then last minute and a half, it was all passes for them to get back and tie the game, and it went to overtime. He looks fine. I mean, DJ Moore, I probably have a little bit more interest just because the Bears are not using Claypool anymore. He's out for this one. He's probably not going to play another game for them. So it's just going to be more targets for DJ Moore and less. They just have another less body out there. So it's going to be basically more Mooney and Equanimeous St. Brown is going to be a nice value play. Played 58% of snaps last week for them. I like Sam Howell. I like him probably a little bit more than Brian Robinson Jr. I think both are solid, but Robinson is going to be splitting some work with Antonio Gibson. So there are some concerns there if he's not able to get into the end zone. But based on pricing, I like Howell more. Khalil Herbert on the other side, I think, is a fine play. The Commanders' defense been struggling this year in both the pass and the rush. Herbert coming off of his best season, or best game of the season, against the Broncos, and in that one, he got you 22 touches, which was great to see. In the first 3 weeks, he was kind of splitting some more work. Last week, that he was playing really well. They kind of used him more. He played 78% of snaps last week after playing just 55 and 60 and 36 the previous 3 weeks. So he's getting more and more snaps as the season has gone on, and he's been making some better work. I mean, he's been good yardage-wise. I mean, just been in some games where they just had to abandon the run. I don't think that's going to be the case in this one. So Herbert, $8,600, I think, is a really good play. I really like Cole Kmet. Finally broke out. He's getting targets, and not having Claypool there is going to make him even better. He just doesn't really come off the field much for a tight end. He's playing 70+%, 75% of the snaps pretty consistently. Looking at value picks, Curtis Samuel is a fine play. He's $5,600. He gives you some upside, though sometimes use him to run the ball, so maybe he can get you 1 or 2 carries. Logan Thomas, I like him better than the Commanders' defense. I actually think the Bears will put up some points, but you're probably going to hope for a pick six or a fumble recovery for a touchdown for them to pay off. You have Johnson here, who's not getting a ton of upside in the red zone. He got 1 touchdown in week 1. Otherwise, he's not getting you a ton of touches. At this price tag, I'm not too interested. I'd rather go with the kickers. If I had to prefer, I like Sly a little bit more, but both are in play, I'd say. But I think Sly just a little bit cheaper, and they'll probably score more points. Gibson, I like him at $3,200. He's cheap enough that if you don't want to play like a third wide receiver, or one of the kickers, he's really appealing at this price tag because he's still being utilized, at least somewhat, and he's going to get you some passing work as well. So if you look at just how the snaps have kind of shared, week 3 he got 61% of snaps. Last week he got 38. He's typically been like in that mid 30s to 40s range. So it's kind of a 60-40 split. Sometimes, like 55-35, and they'll give like Gore some snaps. But at that price tag, I like him. Equanimeous St. Brown, I think, is a very good value play at only $1,800. He's going to be their third receiver for the Bears. Played close to 60% of snaps last week. So he's definitely appealing for just the fact that he's out there a lot. Diami Brown, all right. I'm not too interested with him. And then all the way down is Pringle, who the Commanders play a little bit. If you need a punt, hope that he gets you a couple catches. That's fine. Looking at some lineup builds here, we'll do one with Justin Fields at captain. Do a few. Justin Fields at captain, I think looks really good. If you're making a safe approach, Khalil Herbert, 86. Throw him in there if you want to, but we'll start with Fields, Cole Kmet. We'll try to get to Sam Howell on the other side at $9,400. We'll put in $3,200 Gibson just because he's super cheap. If we put in St. Brown, we have 12.7, so we'll definitely have a ton of money to spend up. Can take out St. Brown and throw in a Joey Sly here, and you get a nice 4-2 build. But you're getting Fields with pair him with Cole Kmet, who's going to be definitely pretty involved in the offense. If you don't want to play Terry McLaurin, do you want to do a 3-3, then you go with DJ Moore, which I think looks great as well. And then on the Commander side, you get a running back. Sam Howell can run a little bit, and a kicker if you think they can kick some field goals. Another approach we'll look at, you could do one with Sam Howell at captain just because he's pretty affordable. Throw in Justin Fields, see if you're able to get to both McLaurin and DJ Moore. It'll be pretty difficult. Probably be looking at a St. Brown here and a Diami Brown. That's fine. Probably not something I'll end up with. Looking at some of the other cheaper Washington pieces that have some interest, I think Darnell Mooney looks good, but because he's going to be, their clear number 2 receiver without Claypool in the mix, so he can get you. He's one of those guys, boom or bust plays that on showdowns looks pretty interesting. But looking at just some final picks, Justin Fields, definitely going to be playing him. I think Cole Kmet at $6,400 just looks really cheap, and Gibson at 32 for the fact that he's getting 35-45% of snaps. Could get you a touchdown, if he's in there on passing situation in the red zone. I definitely like his price better than Brian Robinson. Saves $6,000, and then you can throw in like whoever else you want. But those 3, I like. Wouldn't be. I think this game is going to be a bit high scoring. But that's it for DraftKings. Let's go over to FanDuel. All right, on FanDuel here, Justin Fields, $17,000. By far the most expensive play on the slate, but I think he's still a really good play because there's not even too many other pay-ups that you need to get to. So there's enough guys that are second, third receivers that you can target, and then some cheap running backs. But on FanDuel, I like Fields a lot. Sam Howell, he's second most expensive, and he's way more expensive than the receiver. So I don't know if you need to get to Sam Howell on FanDuel. I think it's fine if you do. But start off by putting in Justin Fields. Robinson is 14. I prefer DJ Moore, prefer McLaurin, even prefer like Herbert just based on the pricing. So probably won't get to him. I think Cole Kmet at $10,000 is a nice little bargain. He can give you a lot of touchdown upside as we saw last week. And I think going up against the Commanders, the Bears should have success throwing the ball. And wouldn't be surprised at his price tag if he's able to pay it off once again. And then going further down here, Sly at $9,000 is fine. Mooney is $85,000. Definitely pretty affordable and cheap to consider. Looking at Antonio Gibson is only $75,000. He's definitely has some attention. And then Logan Thomas at $7,000. He's definitely a pretty good value if you wanted to play him. I think on FanDuel he's a really good bargain for his pricing. If you look at the fact that last week he played 80% of snaps at tight end. Missed week 3 with an injury. Week 1 he played 82%, so he's always out there. He gives you some upside. I'm not too interested in the guys that are down here. Besides St. Brown, you can take a shot on him. But that's what I got over on FanDuel. Looking at the mid-range, like I said, Mooney, I like him. Dotson, probably prefer these other Commanders receivers, or even getting down to Gibson more. And looking at guys above 10K, like DJ Moore, McLaurin, Herbert, and then Howell. That's what I got for you guys on this Thursday night showdown. Let me know if you have any questions or post some of your thoughts down below. And I will catch you all next time.